The following is a presentation of Palmetto State Media Group. Bearcat basketball lives here. Tonight's game is brought to you by Lorig's Auto Repair, Beth Branham Law, Zeus and Bailey's Pet Spa, Burkett, and Burkett CPAs, Creekside Restaurant, Sun Solutions, So Everly Perfect Photography, West Metro News, Krantz Cooling and Heating, the Taylor Watford Foundation, Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Stacy Sizemore, Dunlap Plumbing, Breads and Such, Brooklyn Banquet and Conference Center, Perfecto Plumbing, and Game Day Turf Management. Now live from tonight's game is the voice of the Bearcats, Mike Hagans.
And welcome back to the broadcast after a mere 18-hour delay. Oh, boy, wow. BC and Midland Valley trying to close out this playoff game after the game was stopped last night with just 13.7 seconds left when there was burning and some smoke coming from under the bleachers, possibly caused by a motor out there. But I'm joined by best baseball coach, Brookland-Cayce baseball coach Matt Klein. Coach, I've never seen anything so bizarre.
No, it was a crazy night, man. Really two good teams playing a back-and-forth game. That fourth quarter started getting really interesting, tight ball game, and the next thing you know, whistle blows, leave for a timeout, and then the gym filled up with smoke, and everyone had to get out. So a lot of adversity, and excited to see how the teams come back today and respond to that.
Well, you feel a little bad for Midland Valley having to get on a bus, and I'm sure the kids don't mind getting out early from school or the coaches and, their help staff. But still, it's a tall task. Even though you've got the 2-point lead, that's in your advantage, but you got to come an hour and a half down the road and kind of loosen up real quick, and you're going to get fouled right away, and there's going to be pressure at the free throw line.
No, it's I can relate a little bit from the baseball side. Get on the road for a playoff game, and then you get there and it rains out. You drive back and have to do it again the next day. But completely different, like you say, when you basically play a full game, 4 quarters, and there's 13 seconds left, and it's crunch time situation. Like you said, whoever gets fouled, probably has to, at least make 1, maybe 2 free throws to help their ball club, be in a more advantageous spot. And hopefully for BC, being the home team, it kind of shows the importance of the regular season, trying to get that higher rank for the playoff seeding, and hopefully, things go our way. But it's going to be an exciting 13.7 seconds finish.
It sure will. Coach, let me ask you this. You played all 3 sports in high school. You were a basketball player, too. What's the mindset of these 2 teams right now as they're getting ready for this one?
Man, it's hard not to look forward to the next one. I think, that was a lot of the conversation last night was, who's next on the schedule here. But this is a moment where, it's hard to prepare for this, right? You practice, late game scenarios no matter what sport it is. But I think each team, watching the game last night, you can tell there's certain guys that want to have the basketball in their hands. Certain guys that the team looks for to be the playmaker. But we were talking about it just as fans last night. These are the moments where you see that 3rd, 4th option, potentially make a play that kind of goes down in the legendary side of it. So hopefully the kids come out with, calm composure. Both sides continue to show good sportsmanship, and you trust all the weeks of preparation you put up to this point.
I tell you, another big note, too, Aaron Adams, their big guy, number 25, fouled out before the end of the game. And he was one of those big guys that was ripping down rebounds. That could be a huge factor, Coach.
Absolutely, especially when you said, late game scenario, foul shots, looking for those defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds. We got a big offensive rebound, in the 4th quarter last night. Unfortunately didn't execute from it, but it could have been a momentum changer. So you look for some of that here tonight. But their lineup, their bench is deep. They subbed a guy in that's just as tall. He can play physical down there in the paint, but especially where the game kind of finished, it might not impact them as much. Being on the offensive side, if they make that free throw, how this works out. But anytime one of your key guys, go out with fouls, it's tough for the whole team.
And looking at something that really surprised me coming into the game, again, these 2 teams evenly matched, both 18-8 coming into it, split the regular season. But shooting-wise, they came in shooting 37% from the field and just 22% from a three-point line. They obliterated that last night at the three-point line. They were 6 of 10, Coach.
Well, I think that's one of the things on, from their side last night, not wanting to leave the gym. They were hot. They were, making the extra passes, getting good open looks, and even their contested shots were finding ways to get in. And, I've watched our games all throughout the year, whether they're here on the road or watching, the YouTube broadcast, but the home court advantage is big, and I think the way Midland Valley shot yesterday and, moved on the offensive side kind of eliminated the chance for BC to get back in the game. And throughout the entire game, we're getting back into 4 points, 5 points, and next, Midland Valley gets a stop on defense and hits 2 quick shots, and it's back to a -10. And so that's part of having to come back the next day. Can they get back on the bus, come back here, and have that same level of success? And that's why this 13.2 is probably going to feel a lot longer, and it's going to be really exciting.
It sure is. Let's give the fans a recap. With 30 seconds left last night, Midland Valley led the game 60-58. We found Braylon Fuller from Midland Valley. He was at the line for some free throws. He hit the first one, made it 61-58, missed the second one. With about 24 seconds, Isaiah Ori tried a three, top of the key, got partially blocked. That would have tied that game up. But then BC had to foul quickly. Xavier Jeter, he went to the line with 18 seconds left. Missed his first one, hit the second one, made it 62-58, and Isaiah Ori didn't hesitate. Dashed down the court, coach, attacked the basket, got the layup, made it a 62-60 game with 13.7 seconds. Timeout was taken on the court, and that's when chaos ensued.
Yes. Well, I thought it was very headsy by Isaiah Ori. Just get the ball, use his speed, get down the court. Midland Valley was in that position where they didn't want to foul, but puts it into that one-possession game and left as much time on the clock. And, like you said, then it all kind of, got crazy there for us. But really back-and-forth game, and every time BC, was able to chip away, and come back, face some of those runs that Midland Valley went on. Midland Valley did a great job getting some stops, some turnovers on defense, and then executing offensively. And I think you saw two really competitive teams, really well-balanced teams, going at it in a state playoff game where they know, winner moves on, loser goes home, and they don't want to be that team.
You're right. And talking about Ori, what a great athlete. Played all three sports here at BC. He's hopefully going to be one of your baseball players again this year. Talk about his athleticism and his confidence on the court.
I love that kid. I mean, being around him for 2 years now, I say he's probably the most special athlete that walks our hallways. He makes a lot of, big-time athletic things look really, really easy. But one thing I love about him most, man, his character. His demeanor is never too high. It's never too low. He's a great teammate. He's not the most loud vocal guy, but you see him use his voice. And even last night in the game, grabbing guys on a quick, free throw line situation or timeout, getting in their ear, trying to keep everyone composed. And but no matter what it is, if he's playing on the football field, the basketball court, the baseball diamond, there's a chance that he looks like the most athletic kid on the field, and the things he does look really, really easy. He's just a great kid overall. We're lucky to have him here at BC.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with our keys to the game with Coach Klein. Back with more in a minute. Bearcat basketball right here on the Palmetto State Sports Network.
At Game Day Turf Management, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality, game-ready turf. Maintaining that high standard requires expert care, and we're here to help. We offer customized maintenance programs tailored to your field's needs. With over 20 years of experience, we provide full-service facility management and can collaborate with your existing staff. We began with natural grass fields and have evolved into a leader in synthetic turf services. For more information, visit us at GameDayTurf.net. That's GameDayTurf.net. Game Day Turf Management is a proud sponsor of tonight's Player of the Game.
Hey Mom, can we go on a Disney trip?
Are you overdue for a vacation? Whether it be a yearly family trip, romantic getaway, or a solo escape, Two Peaches Travel can help you plan your perfect vacation. While my services are completely free, having an agent allows you to save time and money, stress-free planning, low deposits, and no interest payment plans. Isn't it about time for another vacation? Reach out to Two Peaches Travel on Facebook to start planning your next trip.
Looking for the perfect place to spend your evening? Head west to the River District in West Columbia. With ample parking just steps from local shops, restaurants, the Riverwalk, amphitheater, and Caraway Park, getting around is effortless. Or better yet, leave the parking to us with free valet parking in the River District. Available Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 10 and Saturdays from noon to 10. And save the date for the 3rd Annual Meeting Street Music Festival, April 17th and 18th, right on Meeting Street. Great food, local flavor, riverside vibes, and parking made easy. Explore more at westcolumbiasc.gov and come see why it's always a great night to head west.
In today's digital world, technology drives everything. And when your systems fail, your business suffers. That's why smart companies turn to Seagrin Secure. We specialize in secure networks, advanced threat protection, data recovery, and real-time monitoring, all built on a security-first philosophy. Whether you're a healthcare clinic, financial office, law firm, or a growing small business, Seagrin Secure delivers custom IT solutions that keep you safe, compliant, and connected. And with 24/7 monitoring and transparent reporting, you'll know your business is protected before problems ever happen. Take control of your technology today. Call 803-238-5724 or visit SeagrinSecure.com to learn more. That's 803-238-5724. Seagrin Secure, bridging the gap between technology and you.
Burkett, and Burkett CPAs is proud to honor the memory of Horace Burkett, captain of the BC football team in 1947, and his homecoming queen, Catherine Burkett. We are grateful to our dad and mom for their many years of devotion and service to the Cayce, West Columbia communities, and we try every day to walk in their footsteps. If we can help you or your family with any accounting or financial needs, we will be happy to assist you. Visit our website at burkettcpas.com.
Coming up in just a moment, tonight's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Krantz Cooling and Heating. Visit them at krantzcooling.com.
Krantz Cooling and Heating was established in 1983 and is known for providing top-notch heating, cooling, and air conditioning services to the residents of Central South Carolina. We work on all makes and models of heating and air conditioning equipment. We do new installations, seasonal maintenance, routine repairs, indoor air quality enhancements, and ductwork. Our team operates with integrity, transparency, and a commitment to 100% customer satisfaction. To find out more or to schedule an appointment, visit us at krantzcooling.com. Krantz with a K and Cooling with a K.
Tonight's Keys to the Game are brought to you by Krantz Cooling and Heating. Visit them at krantzcooling.com. Now with tonight's Keys to the Game, here's Kurt Pesci.
Mike Higgins, Coach Matt Klein back here with you, and all I can do is describe it, Coach, as a surreal scene. No fans here, no parents, just the basketball teams, the officials, and good old us right now. But let's take a look at our keys to the game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be late game execution right off from the start, right? And so how does BC's defense come out and manage the clock on the defensive side? Do we go for 5 seconds on the inbound? Do we foul right away, trap, those types of things? Free throws.
Yeah.
This is going to be a game of free throws. I think if you see Midland Valey get up by 3-4, maybe they look to foul just to eliminate the three-point shot hurting them on the other side. But defense and free throws, late game basketball.
And you talk about the free throws. You think about the last 2 minutes of the game last night, Coach. If BC hits a couple of those, it's a tie game or even take the lead. And on the other end, Midland Valey, they went to the free throw line the last 30 seconds twice and went 2 for 4. So they could have easily had this game salted away as well.
Yeah, especially when the game gets sped up for high school athletes. Those late game, the brain starts spinning a little quick. Those are moments to collect free points. That's why they're called free throws. My father, my basketball coaches growing up, always said they're free. You got to make them count. BC had some chances there when they tied the game late in the fourth quarter to get up by 1 or 2 possessions, and then Midland Valey executed on their side. And they had a chance to stay up 4 points. They executed, and so I think we talked about it a little bit now. Whoever gets fouled right here for Midland Valey, they're going to be. Like I said, it's a weird setting, right?
Yeah.
No fans. There's no pregame music. All you hear is the dribble of the basketball and the squeaky of the shoes. So it's kind of definitely different. So you can only imagine what's going through these athletes' minds right now.
And how do they handle that? Because this, like you said, this is a situation they never find themselves in. Usually somebody's in the stand making some noise. And I'm thinking the good part is it's only 13 seconds left, Coach. You don't have to go a whole half or even a game.
Well, I think it's when you get to be a coach, you get to experience athletes all different kinds. Some athletes play better when their parents aren't in the stands. Some athletes play better when their family's there. And so I think right now, one thing we really talk about a lot in the baseball is the nameless, faceless opponent, right? And so just understanding the X's and O's, understanding what your job is, what your role is, and there's really no distractions now. It's just communication should be really effective, right? There's no student section, there's no music pumping in, or anything like that, and so we hope to hear our guys communicate really well and ultimately execute what Coach Davis has set up for them to come out here at 13 seconds.
And if you're watching at home on our YouTube broadcast, be sure to click that like button and also follow us if you aren't already doing so. Really would appreciate that. Looks like we're about to get underway. both officials are at two of the three officials are at the scoring table just going over the books. And I know some of the fans were talking, there was chatter last night thinking it was maybe a 63-60 game. But both scorebooks have to line up, and they both had 62-60.
Yeah, and there was definitely some confusion there. And ultimately, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but it goes to the home book. And so you trust the home book no matter where you are. It's no different for baseball, on balls and, strikes, outs, those types of things. But our home book has 62-60. You appreciate Midland Valey, or whoever the opposing team is fighting for their side.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it's about when it comes to some of that stuff. It's kind of the nice thing of, having games get taped. You can kind of go back and rewatch some of it, and I know our side did that. And so they have it 62-60. We hope it, stays there. That 1 point can make a huge difference here, but you hope that doesn't become a bigger issue. Let the boys figure it out on the court to finish the game.
And, Coach, I know this is only your second year here at BC. You're not familiar, but this rivalry goes back to 1980 when Midland Valey was founded. These two teams were fierce region opponents. The only other team we played region-wise more is Airport over the years. And there's been a lot of bad blood over the years between these two teams.
I heard a lot about it last night in the parking lot, man. When we had to evacuate the building, and there was that period of time when we didn't know if we're coming back in to finish or not, that there was some heated debates, we'll call it, between both sides. And I love that. I think that's a big part of sports. You got to be able to say your piece, keep it clean, keep it classy, and move on. You don't want to see anyone getting, carried away when it comes to some of that stuff. But I think those are some of the fun stuff for me personally. When you come to a new school, you get to experience and live some of these rivalries that you don't know about. And it takes a game like last night to kind of bring it all up. And you're like, yeah, I can feel that now, So I told one person, I said, I can't wait for baseball season now. So
it's going to be extra special. I'm going to take a wild guess. When you played high school basketball, you had to be a point guard.
Yeah, no, I was more of a 2 or 3 guard. I played some really good guys who can dribble and ball handle. I had basketball coaches, though, that wanted, we basically ran 4 guards, 1 big guy, and so he wanted everyone on the court to be able to handle the ball, make passes, shoot. He's like, if you can't shoot, you can't play. My high school, fortunate enough, I think it was my sophomore year of college, won a state championship in basketball in Maryland. So come from a good program, had some good athletes, and we had a lot of success. And private school, big in Maryland in our area, and you're just north of Baltimore there. And so we got to play a lot of, I got to play a lot of guys who got to play college D1 level, some guys who got drafted and had some time in the NBA. So it's cool to watch them on TV and be like, yeah, that guy dropped 35 on us or things like that. But come from a basketball family. My dad's side of our family tree is heavy basketball. So we love this sport. We miss the game action here, but it's always great to come watch our high school kids go because we got an amazing squad with amazing kids, and they do a lot of awesome stuff on a basketball court.
And, Coach, it's like this in every sport. There's just something different about the playoffs. No, I don't. Yeah, I guess they're still debating the score.
Yeah, just came over and asked us if we had a score, and not up to us necessarily. So
I mean, I've got this, but it's not gonna. It'll show us what our players scored.
Yeah,
and Kurt does a great job with that. Bearcats running a little practice play right now.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. Tell them to go back to the beginning of the game. First quarter 0-0, and let's tee it back up again. But
yeah. I wouldn't mind starting this one over.
Nope.
Been a heck of a lot of fun, though. But looking down the stretch, if BC's got a chance to tie it or win it, there are a couple of players you'd like to see get that shot.
Oh, absolutely, man. You feel for our seniors. Like I said, I teach PE at our school, and so a lot of the guys are in the gym throughout classes and other times, and just amazing kids. They work so hard. My personal experience in high school basketball, we had a new coach come in my senior year, so they're learning a new system, new voices. I think they responded really well with that. I think they've been really good leaders to the younger guys. So you want to see their final time as a high school basketball player be the best it can be. You know, if it doesn't happen for them, it's a sorry ending. You hate that for them, but they left a lot of good stuff on the court, and they left an impact here that should last a very long time.
I don't know if you've gotten to talk with Coach Davis too much, but I have become a huge fan of it. I pulled for him when he was a Gamecock, and I always pulled for him, but just an incredibly nice guy. He's great with these kids.
Absolutely.
And one thing that really set him apart to me is when he started the school year, he took up the girls' golf team and started coaching them. We've never had more girls participate.
No, he created an interest there, and I'll be honest, he brought me out on the golf course a lot, so him and I became great golf partners, and some of the conversations I've had with him there, I mean, I'll just cherish probably forever. You know, asking him questions about his playing days, his coaching days, how to handle certain situations, and just an amazing person, a great role model for our athletes on and off the basketball court. They're high school kids. You know, they like to do the high school kids do, and so I think our boys really looked up to him. You know, it's a guy that has been in the shoes that they want to be in, and his demeanor, his everyday consistency to that, I think is really important. And I think you've seen the impact it's had.
Absolutely.
On the basketball court and in our hallways as a teacher as well.
I know the kids were blown away when they made that trip to Denmark-Olar for him to get in the Hall of Fame, finding out about the crazy games. I think he had 68 points one game. He was Player of the Year in South Carolina. Just tremendous resume, not only playing, but as a high school coach has won a state championship.
Yeah, sometimes high school kids don't believe it until they see it, and you can tell them until you're blue in the face that I accomplished this or they accomplished that, but until they kind of get in that old environment and see it. And I think one thing cool about, Coach Davis's experience with that, the impact he left on the community, the people that came out, the people that spoke highly of him, and how he tries to carry that town with where he goes in the future, I think is special. And I think it's no different for our kids. Cayce, South Carolina is going to be part of them for the rest of their lives, and we'll be proud of them for that. And we hope that they're proud of Cayce.
Well, we're still waiting on the start time, already running about 7 minutes over. Two of the officials have left the court, trying to spot them and see if they're anywhere. I think I just saw them walk off. And we'll try to get an explanation from Coach Klein. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more in a moment. Bearcat basketball on the Palmetto State Sports Network.
Don't throw your money down the drain. Call Perfecto Plumbing, your local pros, with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Serving Cayce, Columbia, and the entire Midlands with affordable, high-quality plumbing you can trust. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. From water heater installs to drain cleanings, Perfecto Plumbing handles it all without breaking the bank. We believe in building trust, delivering excellence, and giving back to the community we love. Visit perfectoplumber.com to request your free estimate. That's perfectoplumber.com, or call 803-404-9984 today.
Join us at the best buffet in town, the Cafe at Brookland Banquet and Conference Center, located at 1046 Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. We're open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. View our weekly menu at brooklandbaptist.org. You can also call the menu line at 803-744-7929. Looking for a place to host your next event? Give us a call at 803-744-7953. Brookland Banquet and Conference Center.
Zeus and Valey's Pet Spa. We're the gentle pet pampering specialists, and we're certified dog groomers. We're open Monday through Saturday by appointment. You can call or text us at 803-543-8752. That's 803-543-8752. We're located at 1408 Charleston Highway in West Columbia. We are in the lower level of the Tropic Air Santa's Closet building. You can also follow us on Facebook. Zeus and Valey's Pet Spa, the gentle pet pampering specialist.
Need to make a bold impression? Sun Solutions at 345 Dreer Road in West Columbia is your one-stop shop for all things printing, branding, and marketing. From eye-catching banners and vehicle wraps to professional printing, direct mail, branded merch, and full-scale marketing, we do it all under one roof. Big ideas deserve big execution. Visit sunsolutionsUSA.com or stop by today and let's bring your brand to life. Print, promote, deliver. Sun Solutions.
Burkett, and Burkett CPAs is proud to honor the memory of Horace Burkett, captain of the BC football team in 1947, and his homecoming queen, Catherine Burkett. We are grateful to our dad and mom for their many years of devotion and service to the Cayce, West Columbia communities, and we try every day to walk in their footsteps. If we can help you or your family with any accounting or financial needs, we will be happy to assist you. Visit our website at burkettcpas.com.
Krantz Cooling and Heating was established in 1983 and is known for providing top-notch heating, cooling, and air conditioning services to the residents of Central South Carolina. We work on all makes and models of heating and air conditioning equipment. We do new installations, seasonal maintenance, routine repairs, indoor air quality enhancements, and ductwork. Our team operates with integrity, transparency, and a commitment to 100% customer satisfaction. To find out more or to schedule an appointment, visit us at KrantzCooling.com. Krantz with a K and Cooling with a K.
Looking for the perfect place to spend your evening? Head west to the River District in West Columbia. With ample parking just steps from local shops, restaurants, the Riverwalk, amphitheater, and Caraway Park, getting around is effortless. Or better yet, leave the parking to us with free valet parking in the River District. Available Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 10 and Saturdays from noon to 10. And save the date for the 3rd Annual Meeting Street Music Festival, April 17th and 18th, right on Meeting Street. Great food, local flavor, riverside vibes, and parking made easy. Explore more at westcolumbiasc.gov and come see why it's always a great night to head west.
Don't throw your money down the drain. Call Perfecto Plumbing, your local pros, with an A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Serving Cayce, Columbia, and the entire Midlands with affordable, high-quality plumbing you can trust. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. From water heater installs to drain cleanings, Perfecto Plumbing handles it all without breaking the bank. We believe in building trust, delivering excellence, and giving back to the community we love. Visit perfectoplumber.com to request your free estimate. That's perfectoplumber.com or call 803-404-9984 today.
Tonight's game is presented by Lorix Auto Repair at 4804 Augusta Road in Lexington. To find out more, visit lorixauto.com.
Well, we are still waiting, Coach Klein. The officials are meeting with the bookkeepers for both. There's a little discrepancy in the score right now, and both have two different scores.
Yeah, I think it's right on cue for how the game ended last night, or the time ended last night. And I guess, like we said earlier, you kind of hope everyone's sitting down, having cool conversations, getting to a resolution on it. And once that's figured, let's play basketball.
And we just heard from Coach Clyburn. He said, seems like everything was on the up and up as far as the sportsmanship.
Yeah. You know, we said it earlier. You know, you appreciate both sides fighting for what they believe is right.
Absolutely.
You know, and you just want to make sure it's classy. You know, done correctly, and it sounds like they're doing that by the letter of the book there. And you know, hopefully it doesn't take too long, because you got the athletes out here kind of just in that limbo space. You know, so you want them, after they had their warm-up period, hot and ready, you know, to compete. You know, don't want them to cool down, but. We'll see what happens.
I know a lot of fans were asking about the foul situation. Both teams over 5 fouls now, so don't know if that factors into it. Only one timeout left, and that belongs to Midland Valley. BC out of timeouts now, but just 13.7 seconds left. It'll be Midland's Valley ball when we get started. Again, we don't know if it'll be 62-60, 63-60, or, heck, Coach, something else.
I mean, that's a huge part, you know. When you get the news that you're going to come back the next day and play, it kind of gives the coaching staff, the players, a chance to sit down and formulate a plan, right? And so whether it's a 2-point game, 3-point game, those are drastic game changers in basketball, right? And so defensively for BC, you know, do you foul right away? Do you try to get a trap and a steal? You know, how much time can you really afford to take off the clock? If you're Midland Valley, if you make your free throws, do you become, hey, we're going to take a time up and set up defense to where – do you foul just to eliminate a 3-point play, a 4-point play? You know, keep them to, you know, 2 points at most for a field goal, and you come back. And so there's so much things. You know, both teams in the bonuses adds a huge wrinkle to this. Guys are in foul trouble, right? We got a couple guys with 4 fouls from last night. Sure, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe some of their guys are 3-4 fouls. And so, you know, you don't want your best free throw shooters getting fouled out on defense. So you got to be really smart, especially in this setting where you can kind of strategically put in that 5 that you want. To kind of burn that and then play the substitution game.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Last time that we'll be playing Midland Valley, we'll play them in baseball a couple of times, but after that, it'll be the foreseeable future. We don't know when we'll play them again. And, Coach, I want to ask you about the new regions. BC won the argument up in front of the appellate court. I thought Dr. Jones and Coach Clyburn did a magnificent job arguing our case.
Yeah, we talked earlier in the basketball season during halftime of a game, and just so appreciative of having administration, you know, fight for us. And ultimately the right choice, I believe, was made. It took a little, extra persuading, it sounds like, but through our, just school population, number of athletes, you kind of dive into it. It just makes more sense for us to be at a 3A level, just numbers-wise, and then you have to think about the travel, right? And where I was going through our baseball schedules, and, you're looking about your, 2 trips a week to Aiken. They're coming to us, other things there, and so travel is going to be better. Level of competition, I think, should be better. We still keep some of the old school rivalries like we talked about, the Airports, the Gilberts, and we add some really good athletic programs into our region with Camden, Swansea. And so it should still be exciting. Every sport should, be really competitive. I know we're excited to kind of claim, put a footstep down in that new region as, hey, we're here in all of our sports, because all of our sports continue to get better and better.
And the time travel's not that big a deal on a Friday night, Coach.
Nope.
But it's those midweek sports, those Tuesday, Wednesday games, and the JV travel. That's a lot of travel that adds up.
No doubt. We're just trying to set up, pregame team meals for our baseball season, and who's running concession stands, and you're looking at, when's varsity on the road or home. Same thing for JV, and you're looking at it, it's like on a Monday varsity goes to South Aiken, on a Wednesday they go to North Augusta, and so that's 2 nights in 3 days where the kids are coming back probably after 10:30, 11 o'clock if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're asking family members who work to leave work early to get out there by first pitch, or leave right from work, and so dinner's on the road for them, and so it's a lot, and that's why we are so thankful for our families and our baseball program. I know the basketball program, all of our families in our sports communities are great. But it takes a toll. It's a lot. Bus drivers. A lot of times you have the same bus driver because they want to be there for you and support you. But it's a lot. And so you try to take advantage of them. Make sure you win them, because when you get deeper into the playoffs, late season playoffs, you don't want to do it then. I think you see a perfect example of that with this basketball situation. Midland Valey 2 nights and 2 days in a row having to come to Columbia, where we get to be the home team. And I think so it's important.
I remember, gosh, it would have been about 2016. BC went to Buford to play a game, and we had a lightning delay. Coach, that lasted for about 2 hours because they didn't want to have BC go all the way. It's a Friday night, so you got some wiggle room there. So we hung around until midnight and ended up winning the game in late game heroics.
I'll tell you, way back in the beginning of my coaching days, I was an assistant at North Myrtle Beach. We go to North Augusta for a playoff game. We get there. The sunshine the whole way, get there, rain's falling out.
Wow.
Ball game. So we had to turn and drive right back, go there the next day, and we lose 1-0. And so it's an ugly part of it. I love it because in a state playoff you can play anybody from the state. It's not so much geographical. That kind of was where I grew up, but it's why winning regular season games is so important.
It does, and that reminds me of a story. The year before you took over, when you were still at Waccamaw, you knocked us out the playoffs. The game before that, when we went down there to have to win 2, we played at Marlboro County. Went there on a Saturday.
I remember because I was watching your feed, trying to get some notes on whoever we were going to play, and I think you get through the first inning. Maybe
we didn't even make it there. I think we made it through 2 batters.
Yep, and then so I think you guys threw a clean 0. Well, either way, but rain gets out, and next thing you know, it becomes more of almost a week until that game gets in.
It did, because we were, 2 or 3 more days, and the field was just soaked.
And then you had to turn around and come to Waccamaw, which, is not an easy drive.
It's not.
From DC, and I think you saw that in that district championship where, BC wins game 1 there, but they were tired, and
it's tough.
Game 2, it kind of caught up to them. And but it goes, again, it was just, that's why we preach, for our baseball side. Our first, regular season, game is March 6th. We have a preseason tournament, and that counts, RPI and everything there. But we got to win game 1.
Yeah.
We want to win game 1 and then win the next day after that. And if it doesn't happen for you, you got to be able to respond quick. Because if you go on that 2, 3, 4 game slide, that's the difference of you being on the road in the playoffs or getting a host day 1.
And we know how big a deal it is to be at home for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And, Coach, speaking of that, back in the day when you had to win 2 in one day, I think they've kind of adjusted that now, and they've moved it to a second day, which I kind of like, actually.
Yeah, it's safer for the kids.
Yeah.
You look at really how the high school state baseball playoffs is laid out. It's tough for a pitching staff, and that's my love of the game of baseball. I love pitching, and I really enjoy getting to sit down and script out how we get to use our arms and map out their number of pitches and innings and things. But when you get to a playoff, you got to go win games. And I hate to see coaches sometimes put guys in positions that could potentially injure a player to win a game. You don't want that to happen. But when you're asking baseball clubs, play 4 or 5 games in a 7-game day stretch, that's tough. Or you playing the doubleheader there, like you said, for the district championship, where a guy might be coming off 2-3 days rest. Yes, there's pitch count rules, but that's still a lot.
Yeah,
still, like a lot of high school kids, they might pitch game 1 and go play shortstop game 2. Or they're catching game 1 and pitching things.
And that's a lot of wear and tear on the arm, Coach. 13.7 seconds when we come back to this. We're still the officials meeting. Well, they just came out.
Might have just got a little birdie in the ear that said we might be interested to see what happened. I'm not going to spoil it, but it'll be really interesting to see what's about to happen right here.
They're having a conference up there. Both coaches are there. Coach Clyburn for BC, also Midland Valley AD Coach Dorn.
These are those moments you love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't you, though?
Over there and be able to hear the conversations. Kind of makes you wonder how many times a referee's kind of been put in this position.
I am dying to know. I know these kids are just ready to play at this point. Both teams still warming up. Several Midland Valley players have headed over to the bench to kind of collect themselves. And now we're almost 20 minutes over when we were supposed to start, Coach. So it starts to become a mental game a little bit.
Tell you what. It's good to see the Brookland-Cayce side getting a little more active here. I know we went through free throws right there, but they must have just got a notification like, hey, ramp it back up.
Yeah, we're about to get going.
Good to see them have a bounce to their step.
Trying to see if we make a change on the scoreboard here.
One thing we haven't talked about, I wonder who has possession on the jump ball. I want to say
that's a good question. I think it is. I think you're right.
I don't see the arrow up there at all, but.
Because I remember we had got that loose ball right in front of the basket. I think that was the last jump ball, so it should be theirs.
Yep, looks like it's pointing in their direction. Yeah.
And I'm assuming the score stays the same, 62-60? Or did a little birdie tell you something else?
Little birdie told me something different, but you don't see the change on the scoreboard yet. But I think ultimately, though, if it's 62-60, that's generally in the right part. So I think it's an even kill. It doesn't sway one thing to another team. So
just a difference whether it's 62-60 or 61-59, right?
That's what I heard. It was 60-59. I was like, oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
But
that's a huge difference.
Yeah. So it looks like we got 62-60.
Yep. So we're finally going to get this game concluded, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching today. Click that like button and follow us if you don't mind. Sure appreciate it. 13.7 seconds. Midland Valley going to inbounds it. Bearcats will need to foul right away. Midland Valley so good from the free throw line last night. Just overall shooting very good. Deep outlet pass hauled in, and a quick foul. Are they going to give it to Beckett Riley or Caden Walker?
I believe it's on Caden Walker. If that was on Beckett, that would have been his 5th, I believe. But
and Braylon Fuller
ran that same set last night. Bunched everybody up and then caught him deep. So,
and with 30 seconds left in the game, Fuller was 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Bearcats need him to miss at least one of these, Coach. First shot on the way. Silky smooth. Got it to go.
This next one becomes real interesting right here.
A lot of pressure. Crouches down, pulls the trigger. Got both of them. That's huge.
Got to score quick. Got to score quick.
Bearcats trying to get it in bounds. Long pass. Called by Daniels, calls a timeout. I'm not sure if we have any. They'll give us one regardless, and we'll take a quick timeout. 11.9 seconds left. Back with more in a moment. Bearcat basketball on the Palmetto State Sports Network.
Don't throw your money down the drain. Call Perfecto Plumbing, your local pros, with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Serving Cayce, Columbia, and the entire Midlands with affordable, high-quality plumbing you can trust. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. From water heater installs to drain cleanings, Perfecto Plumbing handles it all without breaking the bank. We believe in building trust, delivering excellence, and giving back to the community we love. Visit perfectoplumber.com to request your free estimate. That's perfectoplumber.com or call 803-404.
And welcome back. Bearcats set to inbounds it with 11 seconds left. Inbounds it, hands it off to Riley. Riley trying to get rid of it. Got to hurry. Eating up a lot of time right here. Pull-up shot on the way. Going to be short. And what do we got? 3 seconds left in this one. That should all but do it. 4-point lead, 64-60, 3.3 seconds left. And Tyler Mooney, coach, hit 3 big three-pointers last night. It was a huge difference in that game.
Yeah, he shot it lights out, man. It's I don't know much about his basketball history, but he probably played the game of his life last night.
At the free throw line to seal the deal. Shot on the way and good. Makes it a 65-60 game. Coach Red wearing the gym shorts today. Second one good as well, makes it 66-60. Bearcats lobbing in. All for Midland Valley. They might put about a second on their clock, Coach.
Yeah, it's
not going to do much good, though, with a 6-point disadvantage.
No, but you got to be able to control our emotions here. I know we're excited, but got to be able to control our emotions.
Midland Valley will move on to play Gray Saturday afternoon. Not sure on that time yet. I've heard maybe a 1 o'clock start. Not sure if that's the case, but talking about running into a buzzsaw. Either team that would have come out of this, it would have been a tall task. Yeah, no good, and that'll end the game. Final score. And Midland Valley is going to come away with the win tonight, 66-60. Appreciate the fans sticking with us as we got this final shot in, Coach. And I know disappointed Bearcat team, but what a great season.
It's, only one team's happy at the end of a season, right? Whoever gets to win the very last game and get a trophy and get rings. And so it's a very disappointing time for athletes. It's, my hardest day as a coach, when we have to look at our team. I've been fortunate enough to be in programs that have had some really great runs, championship effort stuff, and programs that, seasons that haven't gone your way. And so you got to try to find the message to the athletes that they know, they know what happened, but from the time they start to this point, this one game doesn't define them. They've had a ton of success throughout this season. A lot of these seniors have had a ton of success throughout their high school career, and we know they're going to have more success as they move on to the next level. And so ultimately, man, it's a bittersweet moment. It's a tough moment, but you're proud of a squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Coach, you're going to get the final honors on the season, let you look over it for a second. But time to name our Game Day Turf Player of the Game, final one for this basketball season. Again, the Bearcats are going to end the season 18-9 overall, came in as a number 8 seed. Midland Valley, number 9 seed, also identical 18-6 record. Did have one more loss than BC in the region, finished 4th place. But they're going to be victorious. They win 2 out of 3 games this season. Final score 66-60. And, Coach, who you want to go with today?
Yeah, so, for the Midland Valley side, guys that look like they had maybe 2-3 guys, scoring double digits and, really good offensive effort. The number 22, Moody, he seemed to have the hot hand last night, hit some big shots for themselves. It looks here like he had up to about 15 to 17 points. For BC, it's kind of the same names you heard all year, right? Isaiah Oree, Isaiah Daniels, Caden Walker, I thought played some big-time minutes and stuff. And Isaiah Daniels, I think, is a guy that without him on the court, you lose a lot of effort, So I'm not the best with math right here, but it looks like he was up to about 18, 19 points, real quick math. And so we'll go ahead and give him the nod for the BC side. And Mr. 22 Moody, for Midland Valey. I think definitely was an impactful player for them.
I agree. Congratulations to both those. Coach, I appreciate you stepping in last minute.
Oh, thank you, man. I had a blast right here. Get out of the school day a little bit and come hang out with you.
Oh, you did fantastic. Well, baseball right around the corner. I am ready for it. We'll have the Coach Klein show coming up shortly, and looking forward to another beautiful day. And, boy, it's beautiful out there today. You got baseball practice today?
We got baseball practice. We got another scrimmage this Friday at Irmo. Next Friday starts our preseason tournament. We're at the White Knoll RBI Invitational, so super excited to be there for that. Play some really good teams. Friday, March 6th, first home game, Horse Creek Academy is coming up here. And so
that's near the Augusta area,
yeah,
isn't
right
it?
there in Aiken, I believe so. And so that's our first regular season home game, the first game of the season after our preseason tournament. And so we're here, a couple weeks away. Boys been putting the work. Got a lot of work to still do, but I'm excited about our group, and I can't wait to have that warm weather, the fans packed, the lights on, and getting the baseball games going.
Coach, thanks again. I appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you,
luck
Mr.
to
Mike.
you this baseball season. See
Yes,
you
sir.
shortly. Well, that's the final tonight, or this afternoon, coming here from Bearcat Arena. We're taking that 1.5-hour bus ride up here, and they get the win 66-60. Midland Valley will take on Gray Saturday afternoon, and baseball season coming up next. Again, I want to thank all of our sponsors who made this possible, and my broadcast partners this season, Kurt Pesci and Trey Jackson. Appreciate you guys. Mike Hagan signing off. Thanks for listening. Have a great afternoon, and so long.
Tonight's game was brought to you by Lorig's Auto Repair, Beth Branham Law, Zeus and Bailey's Pet Spa, Burkett, and Burkett CPAs, Creekside Restaurant, Sun Solutions, So Everly Perfect Photography, West Metro News, Krantz Cooling and Heating, the Taylor Watford Foundation, Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Stacy Sizemore, Dunlap Plumbing, Breads and Such, Brooklyn Banquet and Conference Center, Perfecto Plumbing, and Game Day Turf Management. To find out more about Palmetto State Sports Network, visit our website at pssnsports.com. You can also download our app in the App Store by searching for Palmetto State Sports Network. Thanks for listening and have a great night.